Alright everyone, we have new legacy media shenanigans to talk about. Emoji Astroturfing. Yes, you're old if you use certain emojis, and Gen Z really hates certain emojis because they're come across as aggressive or problematic in some cases. At least that's what Reddit believes. So a months-old Reddit post made by someone who's already in their mid-20s, so right at the ass edge of Gen Z anyway, claims that the thumbs up emoji and the OK sign are not okay with Gen Zers. That's a consensus because somebody posted it on Reddit. This is totally astroturfed right here, and I have a feeling that I know the reasoning behind it. The legacy media likes to stoke intergenerational fights, so they want to get millennials to think Gen Z is weak and cringe. They want Gen Z to think millennials. It's really, that's the dichotomy, especially that millennials are like, they're aging, they're out of touch, so therefore no longer cool. I'll weigh in on emojis. I don't use them. I consider them all to be cringe. I don't understand why people still use them. It's sort of like the digital version of gestural language. So it's the point and grunt side of human communication used contextually to deliver different meanings. Well, fuck, just type it out. Actually describe what you mean in detail instead of being such a low IQ, low attention span peon that you're trying to compress it into a couple of emojis. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe we should just kick emojis off the internet entirely would be probably a better idea. Then I was thinking to myself, how many Gen Zers actually use Reddit? How many? I think they're too busy with YouTube and TikTok and things like that. And certain new tech at this point as well. Hell, there's probably more Gen Z awareness of Rumble at this point than there is of fucking Reddit. Reddit has been vestigial for some time. It's an ancient site at this point. It's basically like the cringe version of 4chan. You'll excuse me if I don't think that a random polling of people on Reddit is an actually truly random sampling of the opinions of a generation. If you were to take that and extrapolate that Gen Z is all weak and cringe, they get offended by emojis. I don't believe that, by the way. I think that that's astroturfed in this case. Then why don't we sample millennials based on what a handful of pink-haired freaks say? Well, clearly they speak to a consensus of millennials. Why is it that the old hippie that didn't sell out and still does LSD isn't indicative of every baby boomer? Why is it that the starch shirt yuppie from Gen X that listens to new wave music isn't still indicative of that cutthroat, black-tabled boardroom style, and that's what Gen X inspires to? What about Generation Alpha? You know, most of them are still in diapers at the moment, or even not born at this point. Let's sample them. Let's sample the 6-year-olds and find out what they think about Reddit or emojis or something. Hell, they're mostly better with smartphones than I am. Fucking my kid, by the time she's 2, will probably know how to use a phone better than I ever will. Just to be clear, I'm not indicative of a proper sample either. I'm a little bit of a tech Luddite. I still use a laptop computer when possible because I just think that it's more comfy than using a goddamn smartphone. I like to have a little bit more push under the hood, so to speak. I love this manufactured consent sort of stuff here, though. Link in the description. You can read through the Twitter event yourself. Then I was thinking it's funny that it's on Twitter. There aren't many Gen Zers that use Twitter either. The usage rate is declining per generation. It's mainly a Gen X and millennial site. YouTube is really the only older tech site that still has a very high usage rate among the younger users, partially because it's the world's greatest jukebox. It's partially because of music. All the music lands first there, all the music videos and shit, all the gossip, all of the legacy media, astroturfed crap, and of course a lot of independent content creation, which is shoved to the back by YouTube. We have to sit in the back of the bus if we're actually talented and not under a corporate contract, but we're still there. We still have audiences on the platform. It's just we have to fight with both hands and a leg tied behind our back with people who spent years ragging on YouTube and saying it was evil, and then they all got accounts and then they all bought in. There was a reason for that too. This is astroturfing. And the emoji thing, I mean, emojis are a problem. Like, you've got that new set of, like, emojis on fucking steroids on Twitter that are cringe as goddamn fuck and shit like that. And they keep changing them too. Like, the gun emoji used to be a gun, generally. Now it's usually like a water pistol, or it looks like a space weapon or something, because they didn't want to literally didn't want to encourage school shootings and stuff. If there's any softness, it's coming from corporate America. It's not coming from, you know, actual grassroots movements among the youth. Again, at what age is youth? Kind of 25 is pushing it when you talk about youths and what they believe in, I suppose. And I'm almost 35. I don't consider myself to be a youth anymore. Youngish? Yeah. Aging fairly well? I feel perfectly fine. But I'm not a teeny bopper. I'm not a college kid anymore. And these sorts of articles, they tend to be written by people that are 40 plus. So yeah, I'm sure that you have a lot of rad interactions, a lot of tubular times with all of the Gen Zers that read CNN or the Huffington Post. Yeah, that's really your average readership base, dude. The average viewership on CNN is pushing 70. On Fox, it's actually younger now. This is an inversion from yesteryear, by the way. What's the average age of a person that takes the HuffPo seriously? Or Vanity Fair, or Vox, or Salon, or Slate, or Breitbart and The Blaze? Probably 50, maybe 60 years old would be the average reader. Nobody pays attention to this shit anymore, which, by the way, is a good thing for the world. And most people don't really use emojis at this point unless they're trying to be ironic. Or if they're just texting. Okay, they're texting with their friends on WhatsApp or something. Okay. In that context, I suppose it's acceptable. You're talking to your friend from school or something. But when people post a bunch of emojis, like to me, in a DM or something, I consider it to be a little bit on the cringe side. I don't have to be, in my 20s anymore to understand this and accept that that particular era of the internet is beginning to wane. There's no purpose to it anymore. A bunch of manufactured bullshit. A person on Reddit says it, so it must be true. Dude, if you're taking anything that you see there as indicative of wider cultural phenomenons, I hate to tell you, I think that makes you the boomer. You're the one who's old and doesn't quite get what's going on. Oh my God, it's sort of like the Halloween scare that we get every year. Right now, the flavor of the year is fentanyl. Supposedly, you're going to get a bunch of really, really colorful fentanyl pills in your candy bag when you go out trick-or-treating. At least that's what old people believe. Based partially on Fox reporting, by the way, and the Senate Judiciary Committee, if I remember correctly. I know that the RNC was directly involved in helping to promulgate that particular myth. This is old people having fantasies about younger people. Not that kind of fantasies, but like fantasies about what they're getting up to. It's sort of like jankum, inhalants, ecstasy. Yeah, there are a lot of 13-year-olds that are buying bags of X and shit like that. Okay, it was a very, very Gen X sort of moral panic at the time. It happens over and over. Every generation always worries inordinately about the younger generations and what they're getting up to. Millennials were, people are frightened for them. Oh my God, they've gone far left. They're all going to be socialists. They don't know how to get a job. They'll never get a house. They don't know how to cook and stuff like that. You can look at trends and say, yeah, home ownership is lower. There's a lower likelihood of them sort of breaking through and making their own way in the world because there are so many old people that refuse to die. They try to make themselves immortal with plastic surgery and pills so that they don't have to transfer their property ownership to someone under 50. Other than that, though, it's the same as any prior generation. Other than the fact that the boomers fucked up the economy so badly. And the silent generation didn't help either. As far as the emoji thing, I declare this to be an AstroTurf. They're basically just trying to manufacture a story that sounds exciting. Somehow they even fail to do that, despite AstroTurfing the whole thing. That's about all. Peace out.